Greetings, guys. This is Blight Resh here. Today we're going to do a little Armour Merlin. This fit's becoming more and more popular in Lowsec, and for good reason. It is super, super strong, especially against like anything that isn't a blaster bolt like yourself. So dual web space allows us to like basically dictate range. We can either like scram cut with null or getting close with void, which is mostly what we'll be doing. So this fit does like insane DPS, man. We're getting out to like 280 with our little 3% damage drug. 5% damage drug, excuse me, and 3% damage implant, which is very significant. But this Merlin does have weaknesses. Kiters, especially if you're warping into someone, be careful, man. Like breachers are really fun fights. Like the dual rep one's decent, but if it's a light missile one, you're kind of buggered. I won't lie. Condors are a no-no. Tristans can be hit or miss. 'Cause, like the Newton Tristan, the Kite and Tristan both do you dirty. But you get an occasional like brawl Tristan that you can fight, but it's very risky going into Plex with those. Another ship that you really need to look out for, like I said, blaster bolts are kind of a problem. Like Merlin's alright, you can go for it. The shield one probably pose a threat to you, but Incursuses are very, very you shouldn't really be able to win against an Incursus if it's fit well. So they have the more tank, more DPS. It's like, yeah. I have tried. You'll see in the edit upcoming videos. But yeah, I had like a lot of success with this. I won't continue like blabbering on, and we'll get onto the fights, guys. Okay, speaking of Incursus as being hard fights, this is two fights of the Incursus with two different strategies. This first one, I'm going to see if I can basically just burst through its tank and void, and hope that maybe it mismanages its reps late, and maybe it like does it wrong. I feel like I start my reps too late in this. And but yeah, this is basically like a straight up brawl. I'm trying to void them down. It's still really close. This dude's using an ECM drone, which is very weird, but yeah, regardless of that, we lose. Incursus does the same kind of DPS as us, but, you know, more tank. This second Incursus fight, I started the fight off with null, and basically I want to keep out range. Again, it doesn't work. So I feel like Incursuses in general are just, like, really crazy. It gets, like, a really good approach there at the start. That was bad on my part. Maybe I should have been a bit more, like, quick on the ball. But whilst we pull out range, once we get his void range, about 3k, he'll stop applying damage, and we'll still be applying damage. I actually thought I had this at this point. I was like, alright, sweet. I've forced him to like rep a couple of times with his Ansei, because he isn't a dual rep one. He's got the web scram and AB, so he's definitely not going to be dual rep. So I'm like, okay, sweet. I worked a couple of charges through his Ansei, I've got this. And then the damage starts applying, I'm like, frick. Maybe he was a bit late in the rep again. But yeah, I don't know. This guy was tanking really, really hard, man. He had no problem tanking null. And yeah, we unfortunately lose this one as well. So yeah, I guess Incursuses are just like a no-go zone for this Merlin. I like to have tried it, but yeah, not again. Alright, I started against an Atron. I feel like an Atron versus this Merlin is actually quite a fair fight. But this dude does something quite interesting. And I dig it. Like it kind of impressed me a bit. What he does is I think he's like keep me at range for a while and let me burn into him, which is smart. And I think he starts off this fight with null. I think he stays with null. But this is like one of those decisions, like, should I have switched to null in this point or stuck with void? Void does it for us. But I feel like against like a regular Merlin, see if we were shield tanked, I think this dude potentially could have won. Especially with his fall off bonus and like keeping like as like 8k or something, maybe with like null. It would have killed us, but eventually we can tank him thing with when he's using null, but once we get into range, it's a bad time for us pure Atrons. Atrons have a similar tank to us, but I won't be able to handle the void damage, and he goes down very quickly once I get into range. But he done well for what he was pulling off. Alright, let's fight against a dual rep breacher. Warping into breachers can be rough, but when you get the dual rep one, I think you're good. What I'm going to do is keep at range 1k and just void. Like, you shouldn't be able to handle a DPS or tank well, but we eventually chunk through it, man, if like you're insane DPS. Now, breachers aren't really known for the DPS, so I'm pretty like handily going to tank it. There's not too much ways we could mitigate the damage unless it's like running rage or something, then we could orbit. With the one web, it wouldn't apply fully, but I feel like this is the best call. Keep up 1k, so like you don't have much tracking issues with your void. We could orbit, but I feel like it would like hurt us too much, so that's why I stick to 1k. And you see this breacher's having like a very hard time tanking us, even with the dual reps. We're slowly like punching through his armor and shield, and like slightly like getting his hull. And then, yeah, it just can't handle DPS, man. Like, 280 DPS, oh. There's not much, like, T1 frigates I can handle that, except maybe, like, a dual rep and Curses or something. But still, regardless, it was still, like, a very close fight. Okay, this fight's against the dual web Kestrel. I don't know going into this, but I'm thinking about that. It might be that, but I'm sticking with Void at the start and hoping that I can pull, get into Void range. So what I do is keep at range 1k, have Void loaded, and this is a decision that you'll need to like learn when to not like stick with Void or switch to Null. So if we weren't like approaching this guy very quickly, we need to rapidly switch to Null. This is what lost me fight spawn. Why I've like needed to learn better, like when to switch to Null or keep in Void and get him close. So that is what will lose you fights, especially in this Merlin. If they start like at far range and you're taking too long to pull to them, switch to like Null. I go into this fight expecting this to be a beam Tormentor, but it's a very weird Tormentor that's like buff art with pulses, which is very interesting. So I was assuming this is just going to be the beam Tormentor like every other Tormentor people are running, which is a very strong ship. Against this Merlin, basically what we're going to do is orbit close, get rid of his guns. I have antimatter loaded because with Void and his tracking nerf or debuff, we wouldn't be able to tracking as well with anti. I could be wrong in loading anti, but I feel like anti is the right call. If you're orbiting to like, avoid damage, the antimatter is the way to go. And if you're like looking to just do like face melt and DPS, keep out range and use Void. But this Tormentor gives me a far better run for my money than that beam one would. It's like the beam one like hits me none whatsoever when we're in this orbit range, and it's like quite an easy fight. So that's why I included this instead of the beam ones I fought. Because it actually gives me like a lot better of a challenge, because the pulses like have a decent wee bit of tracking, and the drones are still plinking away at us. So it's like a lot closer than like the other fights I had, but still, the Merlin's too strong and we still get the win. Okay, this is pretty much me going up against the same exact fit that I'm flying. The only thing that changes is this pilot's not running 2-2 damage rig, so I've got the advantage here. I tried something cheeky here. I'm going in with Null, because I'm worried that this might be like the shield Merlin, which I feel like kills us if we brawl. So I'll be able to just like blitz through our tank, and like we won't get all our anti charges off, and it would kill us. So I was thinking maybe if we run Null, keep up range, and like do enough damage as to where he doesn't switch to Null quick enough, and we maybe get killed that way, like the shield buffer one. But this is like a complete mirror, as I said, and lucky that I started with Null, because that's what Katsumi did as well. And I feel like if I went in with Void and they pulled range quick enough, we would have probably lost this actually. So that 5-second reload would have probably been like enough as to where we lost this. Because you'll see this, even despite me running the T2 damage rig, this is very close. And I feel like if Katsumi was running the T2 damage rig, they would have probably won this. But regardless of that, it was still like a super good fight. And yeah, we pulled the win just because of like the more expensive bet, I feel. I feel like Katsumi deserved to win that one. Alright, this fight's against an Atron and Tormentor. I'm going in here thinking quickly nuke the Atron, hopefully, and then we're going to orbit the Tormentor to mitigate damage. I feel like we could orbit the Tormentor with dual webs and maybe get under his guns and like kill it that way. But I'm glad I thought of this. Like I was going for Atron first, keep it at 1k, Void, and hope that I can handle the DPS and it just melts. That's what I'm hoping. And as I'm doing that, I'm getting ready to orbit the Tormentor at 1k. That way we'll mitigate like a lot of his beam DPS or pulse. I'm expecting it's just gonna be a beam. But he's like another weird like a buffer fit. So okay, we orbit 1k, and you'll soon see that we start to like take a lot less damage. Stuff's getting a bit crazy though. Like I need to watch my cap management, keep my reps sorted. And yeah, once we establish orbit, we're good tank wise. You shouldn't be able to hit us. The drones will plink away at us, and you might get the occasional like hit or grace. Like, but nothing too crazy. And we can apply like our DPS. We're running Void here, so our tracking isn't like amazing. Maybe if I switch to Antimatter at this point, it might be like more wise. But this time, like I'm like full of adrenaline, and I'm pretty much just seeing red at the point. So this is pretty much this. Like you'll notice my cap's starting to get a bit crazy. So this is when like cap management part starts. I need to like determine what like to prioritize. Like I rep a little bit there, and then the scram comes off, and then one of the webs. And I don't reactivate those. I don't know if at the point I was thinking to like conserve cap or just missed it. But it was so close, man. We get the Tormentor as well, and I was hyped. But yeah, I was a good fight. Like I was super pleased with that one. Alright guys, that's the fights I got you this week. Pretty good ones if I do say so myself. Like I've done the Merlin definitely done work for us, man. I have absolutely no idea what I'll be flying for next week's video. I'm thinking maybe Blaster Comet or something else. Maybe something at T1 again, like maybe Rifter or Slasher. I don't know. I've not had much success with Rifter, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I would like to thank you guys. Like, thank you so much for watching my video, and I do hope you guys have a decent afternoon, morning, night, regional equivalent, man. I do hope to catch you guys next time for sure.